All right, guys, so we left off on the comparison between the income of those who have some college and those who do not, and thinking about how a lot of those costs that we just went over, housing and food and healthcare and all of that stuff, those costs still exist for everyone, regardless of education. And so if you can get a job that pays more, then you're going to be better off in the long run, even if you have some student loans to pay off. And that, again, adds up over time. So someone who has a high school diploma, the job that they get probably doesn't have the same number of opportunities for advancement, opportunities for promotions and raises, that someone with a bachelor's degree or higher is going to have, right? You're going to have a lot more ability to go up in the pay scale if you have those kinds of degrees. So over the course of your lifetime, you're going to earn significantly more than someone with a lower level of degree attainment. And then again, unemployment rates are much better for those who have degrees than those who do not. You can see that chart on the side there. It kind of compares weekly earnings, but also unemployment rates. So you can see not only do the higher degrees earn more money, but they also have fewer or less unemployment problems than those with less than those degrees. The other thing is that education isn't just about money either. When you go to college, there's a lot more than just getting a job afterward and earning a lot of money. It's also about how happy you are and how healthy you are and how fulfilled you are. Job satisfaction rates are higher among those who have degrees. They get higher as you get more degrees. It means you're happier in your job. In general, when people are asked about their happiness and they're asked to rate their health, those with higher degrees rate themselves better, right? Those are not necessarily causal factors, but correlated factors, right? If you have a job that requires you to do a lot of physical manual labor, that is going to take a toll on your health. Whereas jobs with that degrees kind of lead to are typically less reliant upon your physical body. And so you don't have that wear and tear in the same way. Those with higher degrees are also more engaged in the world. They're more politically active. They're more likely to volunteer in their communities. They're more likely to have retirement plans. They're more likely to have access to high quality health care. Like I mentioned before, they're more likely to have safe jobs. They're less likely to die or be injured on the job than those with lower degrees. Incarceration rates are lower among those with college degrees or higher. Even marriage rates. People who have higher degrees get married more, not more often each person, right? They're not like marrying, divorcing. They get married at a higher rate and they divorce at a lower rate. And I think the correlative factor there is money, that they're able to support a family. And money is one of the issues that drives couples to conflict, because it is a very big source of conflict, right? If you don't have enough money. So all of these things are kind of correlated, not necessarily caused by getting a college degree, but correlated to getting college degrees. And college is super fun, you guys. It is so fun. You learn so much, not just academically, but about yourself and about the world and about cultures. You meet so many different kinds of people that you didn't even know existed beforehand. So I still am a big supporter of going to college, even though it costs a ridiculous amount of money. So let's talk about community college. So the good aspects of community college, and they are significant. They're free, 2 years free in the state of California, you guys. That is major. So if you do that, even if you go for your 4-year degree or a 6 or an 8-year degree after that, because you got those first 2 years free, you have reduced cost overall. You have reduced student loans overall. You could also get an associate's degree. There are 2-year degrees you can get and you're done. or you get a professional certification. I know COD has, for instance, a nursing program, and then they have a public safety academy as well, so that would lead to law enforcement. Or you can transfer credits and then get a 4-year degree after that. Here's the bad though. Especially now that it's free, community colleges have a problem with overcrowding. There are too many people and not enough classes. And so you might see the term impacted. That's what that means. There's too many people that want to take that class. There's not enough spots available. Another issue is credit transfer. Not every class that you take at a community college will transfer to a 4-year institution. You have to be careful about that and really talk to the academic counselors to make sure that the classes that you are taking are transferable. Then we have the statistics. So 31.5% of community college students transfer to a 4-year college. 31%. So the vast majority, almost 70%, never transfer to a 4-year college. If you're going part-time to community college, and this is a big one because a lot of people want to do this, they want to work and go to community college at the same time, only 5.5% of part-time community college students transfer. 5.5. 95% of part-time students never transfer. So consider that if that is your plan. For those who start at a community college, 13.3% complete a bachelor's degree. That's the 4-year degree. So although 31% transfer, only 13% of those actually complete that bachelor's degree. And for the part-time students, 0.5%, 0.5% of part-time students actually earn their degree. This is not about whether you can. You can. You absolutely can. It's just that life has a way of getting in your way. And when you start making money and you have to choose between going to your lecture and making money, a lot of people are going to start choosing going to work instead of going to class, going to work instead of studying, going to work instead of doing that essay. And that's when you get this problem of dropping out, of not transferring, of not completing the degrees. So if this is your plan, commit yourself to it. Full time, this is your priority. If you have to miss work, you have to miss work. It is what it is. But you can do it. You just have to approach it as your priority. Yeah, don't go with the 95%, who don't end up doing what they want to do. So what can you do? Well, apply for every possible scholarship and grant. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you haven't done your FAFSA, do it. Like today, do it. There are literally millions of dollars out there, millions of dollars in scholarships that never get distributed because nobody applies for them. So go out and do the work. If you spend, an hour applying to scholarships and you get $1,000 scholarship, $1,000 might seem like nothing, right? But you're never going to get a job that pays you $1,000 an hour. So think about it that way. Yeah? Go to a cheap college. A degree from a school that costs 30% more is not going to get you 30% higher pay. And the instruction is not 30% better. In fact, research shows that there is no correlation between the rate of tuition and the quality of education that you get. That being said, do make sure that your college is accredited, right? We've gone through that WASC accreditation at Rancho Mirage High School. What that means is your degree is valuable. If your college is not accredited, then your degree doesn't really mean anything. So make sure your college is accredited. But other than that, go for a school that costs less. Consider your major very carefully. Some majors lead to very well-paid, in-demand careers. You're going to have a job. You're going to get paid well. You're going to be just great. You're going to be fine. Some majors lead to working at Trader Joe's, like me. So be careful about that and know that some majors don't lead to a job after 4 years. Some require another degree, another master's degree or a doctorate degree before you can really do that. It's not to say that you shouldn't go for that path. It's just to say that you should have your eyes open when you're choosing, right? And if you don't know what you want to do, consider going to community college while you figure it out. It's a lot cheaper to take classes in different, subjects if those classes are free than if you're going to a 4-year university and you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars each semester. And be very, very, very careful about loans. Choose the lowest possible interest rate loans. Understand that you can never escape your student loans. So whatever you sign, it is yours until you pay it off forever. Like I said before, even if you die, if your mom or your dad or your aunt or your whoever co-signed your loan, which a lot of you guys are going to have to do, that person is still responsible for those loans even after you are dead. So please think carefully about the loans that you sign and don't get loans that you don't absolutely need. The other thing you can do is to consider working in public service or joining the military, because those careers, although they typically get paid less, they do offer better loan forgiveness programs. I mentioned before that the typical loan forgiveness program for a 4-year degree is after 20 years, you get the remainder of what you owe forgiven, but you have to pay taxes on whatever you're gifted at the end of that, right? Whatever you're forgiven. If you work in public service, that can be reduced down to 10 years and you don't have to pay those taxes. Military, you can get it for free. It's a huge commitment and not something you should take lightly, but it's something to consider. On a personal note, my husband and I have, it makes me nauseous, but about $300,000 of student loan debt between his schooling and my schooling. He went to law school. I have my graduate degree. We pay about $2,000 a month. So not $200, $2,000 a month. It's more than our mortgage on our house. And we will never pay those loans off. We have to wait till our loans are forgiven. Now, luckily, he and I both work in public service, so those loans will be paid off, forgiven sooner than other people. But even with that, I would still go again. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't change a thing. I loved my college experience. I feel like it totally benefited me as a human being. I love my life right now, and I would absolutely do it again, even with that loan. Even if it never got forgiven, I would still do the same thing again. So I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your life. Everybody's life is different and everybody's strengths and choices are different. My point is, I want you to have as much information as possible so that you can make an educated choice and you're not blindsided by things after it's too late. Okay, so I support you. Whatever your choice is, I support you. I just want you to have as much information as possible. Please let me know if you have any questions, and don't freak out. You guys, you're going to be okay. Regardless of what you choose, you're going to be okay. And just because you don't go to college right away doesn't mean that you can't go later. And just because you go doesn't mean you're not going to take a break and then go back again later on. Life is funny, but it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. All right? Peace and love, y'all.